Hello. By the end of this video, you will know how to add recordings to your teacher YouTube channel. Let's head to my YouTube channel here. It's called NorFab in Fourth. In a separate, different video off of our class Google Classroom site, there is information on how to create your YouTube channel. So designing this top feature, other settings within here, how to organize your videos can be found in a separate video. Our primary focus is once you have your YouTube channel set up, today we're looking at then how do you add your instructional videos that you have created, and how do you make playlists so that students can access other YouTube videos that you have not made yourself but are valuable and that you want students to have access to on their own. Let's first look at, once you're on your personal YouTube channel, how do you upload your videos? The easiest and the quickest route is to begin, let me get out of the way here, begin going up to the top right corner. There's something that looks like a 1990s video camera. Click that, and there's two options that should come up, upload video or go live. You're going to click upload video. It's going to take you to, just like if you're creating like a Google slideshow, where you can choose your files from. You're going to click select files. When I am recording my instructional videos for students, I prefer to record in Zoom. We use Google Meet when we're live with students, but this would be when it's kind of just me and I'm recording those videos. If you use Zoom for that, I find it very user-friendly. When you do that, here's my documents on my laptop. You're gonna look for your Zoom folder. Every single recording you make goes there automatically and on its own. I always immediately right-click and give them a name. And then that way I find that they're easier to find. If you wait and you don't give them a name, how it's coded is general with the date. So like these are here, I'll have the date, and then to me that's harder to find, it's harder to reference, and as you can see, it looks like if I don't name them right away, doesn't look like I go back to them and take care of that. So I'm more efficient taking care of it right after I have recorded the video. I'm going to click the video I want to upload to my YouTube channel. It's called Sample Zoom Recording, and go down to the right-hand corner and click Open. Strangely enough, it opens then to an audio version only, playback, which doesn't do anything on my laptop, so I'm not even certain what that is. The actual recording itself is retitled Zoom Again. So you want to right-click, rename. I always look up top as to check and see exactly what I called it in the first place so that it matches and I don't have a variety of different names for the same recording. Then keep that highlighted and click Open in the bottom right again. If it doesn't go, sometimes I have to re-click. It's now in the process of the first stage of uploading that to your YouTube channel. The name of it that students will see, or parents or families or anyone that looks at your channel, will match what you titled it. If for some reason you wanted something different on YouTube than you do in your docs, you'd have to give it another name here, but I'm good. I might say, please watch this video to review the procedure for uploading files to YouTube. Or you might say to students, like, please watch this by Friday, use this to help you review adding fractions, okay? Importantly, what it does for you automatically is it assigns a URL to your video. You can copy that, and I often sometimes do just so I have it. That can be pasted into Google Classroom, a Google Doc, into Google Slideshow. It can be emailed out to families. That's a way to give people a quick access to your specific video. It'll take them to your channel and actually right to this specific video. Okay, that's done for you automatically. Next, I should note, if you copy that URL and you try to right now, before you finish this process, you try to share it in Google Classroom or in an email or somewhere, any destination, it is not going to work. It's going to come up as like video unavailable. That's because you haven't finished creating the video. So the next step, YouTube takes you to this screen. This is a really, really important screen. Here are things it's asking you. I'm going to go back up to the top. Again, title of your video, what you've already typed as a description. You can choose different kind of thumbnails or snapshots from your YouTube video. If you've started funny and you feel like you look goofy or self-conscious about it, it allows you to look for something you think looks a little better. I see that maybe as more important if you teach high school students and you don't want them, creating all kinds of jokes and stuff about the way you look at the start. That's just the image that will be frozen like you see mine here, that they see before they click play. I don't worry about that too much. They can laugh all they want. For a playlist, this would be if you wanted to add this to a playlist, which we'll talk about later. I'm going to leave it for now since we've not discussed those yet. Really, really important is this audience section. You want to click every single time. Yes, it's made for kids. The reason that that is so important is that it immediately turns off features like comments, so that after students watch your video, comments are disabled. It makes it more difficult for students to kind of hack in. If you have older students or really wise tech savvy students, and add emojis to you, or maybe add inappropriate GIFs and things like that that you don't want embedded in your video, blocks out all those features. Okay. Age restriction, I have not found a need for. Then you click next. It's going to take you to step 2 of the process. I have often found I don't really need to do anything a whole lot here. This would be if you're going to get real fancy and add like music to the background, or like attach graphs or things like that, other files to your video. I'm clicking next. Visibility. This is an ongoing debated question. And I want to right away note that I'm not an expert on this. If our district, of course, provides us with specifics and what they want us to use as a setting for visibility, we would need to honor and respect that as professionals. Since we haven't been given that guidance, I've watched a lot of tutorials and read a lot of blogs on what is safest. As an educator, here's the scoop. The private feature, if you choose to make a video private, as it says there, only you, okay, and the people that you share that link with will be able to watch your video. It's not visible from your YouTube channel at all. Basically, it's like a ghost. It's there, but again, you've got to have that link in order to watch it. And there are ways actually to also even add like a password that's necessary. Big problem with private for students is this. As far as I'm aware, as far as I've discovered, you have to have a YouTube account to access any private video, even if you're provided with the URL. Most kids, whether it's good or bad, that's a debate too, have a YouTube channel and then you'd be okay. But any student who does not, even if you put on your Google Classroom your video link, if it is set as private and they do not have a YouTube account, they will not be able to view your video. When I first started making YouTube videos, I thought perfect private. I don't want it out there. I don't want any problems. I just want my students to see it. And then I ran into that problem and have not discovered a way around it. Unlisted is kind of like a combo of private and public. So basically your unlisted video does not come up in searches on Google. You won't see it on your channel. Okay, so it's a ghost there. But if you share the URL with your students in any way, through Classroom, through Gmail, email accounts, share it with your families, because they have the link, they will be able to access it. right? You don't need a YouTube account to access an unlisted video, okay? So unlisted is an option. Personally, my thoughts are if you have tech-savvy students or students maybe like middle school and up, that might be a really good option. You could easily share the link and they would be able to navigate and take each link for each video and click it and find their way. I have found as a primary elementary teacher that public is the best way to go. What public means is it is visible by anyone. It is possible if someone searches on Google and even matches word for word with correct capitalization, matches something that you've titled your YouTube video and they type in the exact title and then type YouTube, they could even access your video. Anyone who has subscribed to your channel can access a public video. Anybody, basically. Just think of it as what it is. It's public. It's out there. I chose this for my videos. One, I figured they weren't super exciting. If they weren't assigned, you probably weren't going to take the time to watch them, and I wasn't worried about like strangers or others outside of our system viewing them. And my fourth grade students have a difficult time sorting through all kinds of links and knowing what goes where and then navigating a bunch of tabs. By making all of my videos public, I just had to direct students to my YouTube page, and then they could navigate and find what video they needed based on the title I gave them. And I often choose to put my videos up on the page as like most recent first, so they would know like today's videos are going to be towards the top of the page, rock and roll. They had no problems. Their parents could find them even though they don't have an app badger. I just found public to be the easiest for all. Okay. Schedule is beautiful. What the schedule option does is allows you to, for example, make a bunch of your videos on a certain day of the week or a certain evening or on the weekend. However, they won't go private, unlisted, or public to others until a certain date. So if it was Sunday night and I was rocking through a bunch of videos, I could then schedule, like if I wanted it for my Tuesday, for example, I wanted it to be available to families and students on Tuesday because that's when I taught that lesson and that's when it was relevant to learning. I could choose that date. I'm not going to use this till, let's pick a date of our cohort or our session. And then I want it at 6 a.m. Check your time zone. Mine, no, mine set. And that way it hides it off of your page until that specific date. This is super important. Do kids appear in the video? You don't have to click or do anything, but it's a reminder to you. I do know Lake Geneva Schools prefers, and it makes sense. Don't ever, ever, ever upload something to your channel with students. It's risky and could really blow up and get yourself in a lot of trouble. Hit schedule. Almost done. Okay, your video, it reminds you this is when it's public and accessible. Again, if you didn't copy the link right away, here it is. You'll need that for your Google Classroom or email or however you so choose. Hit close. You're going to see your video in the works. This one was short that I'm uploading, unlike the one we're making together right now. Details would be if you wanted to somehow change one of your settings. I've enabled my comments so it's not clickable. This is if you want to check and see, like, did this work out? Does it say what I want it to say? Am I okay with this video? You can preview it.
Hello, the purpose of this video is to just have a sample video to use for practicing and teaching others how to add videos to their YouTube channel.
I would often check that to make sure, for example, like background noise, and my daughter was maybe having fun with a friend online and laughing and screaming and having a good time, and I'd be like, oh, did that make the video? I would quickly use this preview to hopefully check and see that the background noise was quiet enough that it wasn't picked up when I recorded. Then you are set. Here's all my videos. Again, you can change settings and things as you go. If I wanted to put this in our Google Classroom, here's our Get Techie. I could just go to classwork. I'm not going to fully do this officially, but say I wanted to put it in as a helpful resource. I do this all the time. I go to that. I might want to just put this as material. so that students have it to access. That way I don't have to worry about assigning a grade or making it a quiz or something like that. I would click material. And remember how I copied that URL? I could go to add YouTube. This is where I'm gonna paste, Control V. Oh darn, it didn't work. So let's go back. It's okay. Get my shareable link. Go back to our Google Classroom, Control V. The video then that was created that I would click, you have to click it, which is confusing a little bit, and then click add. And then that's gonna add to whatever section of Google Classroom you've asked to add it to. That is, in a nutshell, how you add your instructional videos to YouTube. One thing, sorry, that I neglected to share with you all, and it is awesome. So I'm gonna go back to that. I apologize. Stay with me. We're reaching the end here. I neglected to mention in your YouTube channel how to, sorry, my laptop runs slow. How to create playlists. This is a beautiful option for you and your students. If you click the playlist tab, this allows you to create basically folders for your YouTube items. I have, for example, create a playlist on how-tos. Those are pretty much for me. My students can see them if they wanted to. Again, they're not that exciting, so they probably will not waste their time. I have a language arts and spelling, and this is where I put anything I have used in the classroom that I think would be beneficial for absent students, for review purposes before a quiz or a test, just for fun. This is where I have some of my movement breaks and brain break videos, of course, math, and then other things that don't fit elsewhere go in my liked videos. To create your playlist, you'd go to YouTube Studio, and there's a tab that says playlists. This is getting rather lengthy, so I'm not going to go to that. It's pretty self-explanatory. It will walk you through. But I just wanted you to know that there is a way to organize in a beautiful manner your different videos, and it's called playlists. Because my students are younger and primary, I did not put my instructional videos in playlists. I just felt like, because this was all so sudden for us in the spring, I hadn't had the opportunity to show them how to navigate playlists yet. So I just stacked, here's all my instructional videos from spring, and I just stacked them, and they knew to scroll, like I said earlier, and look for what they were looking for. Again, thank you so much for hanging in there. Apologize for the length of the video, but I hope that you find it to be helpful. Hope you're having a great day.